Now at 5, Pittsburgh hopes a new service will address some concerns over trash pickup. Plus, the latest on a Jasper County shooting investigation. And
Vice President Harris is aiming for more union support, hitting 2 battleground states this Labor Day. I'm Skyler Henry detailing the race for the White House as President Biden joins her on the campaign trail.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Pittsburgh hopes to address residents' trash concerns with the official launch of a city-run trash service this week. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The new service comes after many residents have reported issues with other companies like Cards Recycling and Waste Management frequently not picking up trash while still charging customers. City staff say when these haulers don't pick up, it's fallen to the city to handle. The launch of the city-run service allows the city to invest in proper equipment like trucks and roll carts. It also gives Pittsburgh residents another option.
The city's always in trash. We've always been in the trash business. What we're doing is just getting a little better equipment and assigning some personnel, because right now, when the trash doesn't get picked up by one of the contractors that's supposed to pick it up, it ends up falling to the city.
The city says as of last week, they had an estimated 800 or more signups for that service. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office says a weekend shooting appears to be a case of self-defense. Happened at a home at 117 South 12th Street in Sarcoxie, Missouri. Deputies responded to that house for reports of a shooting and found 39-year-old Brian Jones of Sarcoxie with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Sheriff's Office says the shooter was identified and is cooperating with investigators. The weather a bit cooler out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful Labor Day for us today. Temperatures cooler than what we saw yesterday. It's still warm. It's fairly nice. It's 84 in Joplin. We can drop to Pittsburgh sitting at 82 degrees. 81 in Lamar, 84 in Anderson, 86 in Veneta. Neodesha is checking in at 84 degrees. A little bit of a northeasterly wind kicking in, 5 to 10 to 15. So it's been a little bit on the breezy side, but overall looks great. We slide back through the 70s, 60s. A lot of clouds for us tonight, but we are going to stay dry. So clouds will start to increase across the region. A weak little wave down through parts of Texas. We're going to mainly stay dry. We may get a few sprinkles, but the clouds kind of overtake us tonight into the morning hours. We start into lower 60s, but a nice warm up into low to mid 80s once again. We're going to look at this and the rest of the week here in just a bit.
Catch you in a few. On this Labor Day, the Democratic presidential ticket is focusing on labor groups working to bolster support among unions. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris are teaming up at an event in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Reporter Skyler Henry has details.
President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were last on stage together at the Democratic National Convention after the president's speech on night 1. The two will make their first campaign appearance together since Harris was elevated to nominee later today at a union hall in Pittsburgh. Earlier, Harris was in the battleground state of Michigan, greeting workers in the union stronghold of Detroit.
When I am president, we will pass the PRO Act and end union busting once and for all.
Her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, met with labor leaders in his state before speaking at a Labor Day event in Milwaukee. The campaign says the Biden-Harris administration is the most pro-labor in history and claims the Trump administration was anti-worker and anti-union. Union members are an important base of support in this year's election.
Very important for Democrats. It's a key part of the Biden 2020 coalition that Harris is looking to replicate this time around.
Give it up for President Donald J. Trump.
The Republican nominee took a break from campaigning this holiday weekend, criticizing the current administration's immigration policies at an event Friday night.
Many of these people are criminals. Many of these people are coming out of the roughest countries in the world.
The campaigns are intensifying, with a little more than 2 months to go until Election Day. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
There was a 3-vehicle crash involving vans transporting press and Walz staffers to his event in Milwaukee. Governor Walz and his wife were ahead of the accident and they were not hurt. 2 of his staff were taken to the hospital, one for treatment of a broken arm. A national strike brought major disruptions across Israel today as outrage continues over the murders of 6 hostages in Gaza. Today's strike followed mass demonstrations over the weekend to protest the Israeli government's failure to secure a hostage release deal. Among the hostages killed was Israeli-American Hirsch Goldberg Poland. Protesters say they're now hopeful this giant wave of public anger could signal a new level of pressure on the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to finally reach an agreement with Hamas. Still ahead, what do you know and is it enough to help someone in need of medical help?
Many people aren't prepared to act in the event of a medical emergency. I'm Michael George with more on these critical life-saving skills.
Plus, the link between early childhood education and a person's health in midlife. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, new research tracked more than 1,000 kids from preschool through adulthood and found that early childhood education programs were associated with better health in midlife. The study published in JAMA Network Open found the childhood programs were linked to better cardiovascular and mental health, as well as better economic well-being and other social benefits. Late-stage cancer diagnosis is more likely among minority youth than white youth. That's the finding of researchers at Stanford who looked at data from more than 250,000 patients. The risk of late-stage diagnosis was significantly higher for Asian and Black adolescents and young adult patients than it was for white patients. And some minority groups were also significantly more likely to die from the disease. If you witnessed a medical emergency, would you be prepared to jump in and help? Well, a recent survey from the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center finds for many of us the answer is no, we would not be prepared. Reporter Michael George has more on the skills doctors say we should all have and one man whose life was saved because of them.
Jack Gibbons takes his heart medication and exercises as part of his rehabilitation program. The 61-year-old high school teacher collapsed in cardiac arrest at work and says his colleagues helped save his life.
If I hadn't had people around me that knew how to do that and did not know the procedure, you and I wouldn't be talking today.
A new survey from Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center finds most Americans aren't as prepared to jump in. Just 51% of respondents say they could do hands-only CPR. 49% say they could stop a life-threatening bleed. And about 56% could help a choking victim.
At 100 per minute, to the tune of staying alive.
Emergency physician Dr. Nicholas Kaman is concerned those numbers are actually lower.
If only 50% of people would feel comfortable doing that on a survey, that number might even be less when actually they're presented with that type of patient.
It is an in and up.
Classes like this one train people on the Heimlich maneuvers, CPR, and how to stop a bleed. Skills Dr. Kaman says everyone should learn.
Are you okay?
And don't let fear stop you.
Time is of the essence. You're not going to hurt somebody more, and you may actually save a life.
Gibbons says his school had emergency responses in place and his colleagues were trained, something he encourages every organization to provide.
Tell them how important it is. It's like an insurance policy. You hope you never have to use it.
Gibbons says he's grateful those life-saving skills were put into action. Michael George, CBS News.
Now, as with all skills, practice makes perfect. Doctors recommend practicing doing hands-only CPR every 6 weeks. Check for classes at your local hospital, community centers, or even places of worship and civic organizations. And there's new evidence that challenging a big medical bill, it could be worth the time and effort. A study at the University of Southern California found that more than 3/4 of people who reached out about an unaffordable bill got some type of financial relief, and most said it took less than an hour on the telephone. But they found that many people don't contact billing offices because they think it won't make a difference. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, a warning about a growing scam.
The FBI says a sophisticated scam is taking billions from victims. I'm Christine Lazar, and I'll tell you about the con called pig butchering.
Plus, we had great temperatures today. How long are they going to stick around? We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a beautiful Monday, Labor Day outside. The holiday weekend overall pretty good. A little gloomy on Friday and Saturday. Yesterday, a little on the hot side. Today, just about perfect. Great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo's just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but setting up for a beautiful evening if you're getting outside, doing some barbecuing or whatever, just even relaxing before you head back to work tomorrow. 80 in Stockton, 84 in Anderson, 82 in Bentonville. We have Veneta 86, 84 Miami, Pittsburgh checking in at 82, 83 in Parsons. Let's go outside. Here's 7th. Here's Rangeline sitting at 84. East, northeasterly winds, light at about 5 to 10, plus our humidity. Check this out. These are our dew points. Measures how much humidity is out there in a degree fashion. Look at this, 49, 48, 48, 55. So that kind of puts us right around 50 degrees, which is way down at the bottom of the scale. Makes it feel very refreshing outside. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the next few days. Through the evening, we slide back through the 70s, 60s, so eventually lower 60s later on tonight. We have some kind of mid and upper level high wispy clouds that are rotating through, but these are going to increase later on tonight. Here's the reason why. We have a wave down through parts of Texas, so you can see these mid and upper level clouds, which are going to head toward us. Most of the rain will stay to our south, but we will get the clouds from it. And if we look out toward the west, you can see this little dip north of San Francisco. That's our next weak little wave, which will affect us Thursday into Friday. First off, let's look at your Tuesday. You can see the clouds roll in. We start near 60, mostly cloudy skies all day long. Here's a noon hour, upper 70s. As we get into the afternoon, I think most of us 82, 83, 84. Notice a few sprinkles along and south of I-44. Maybe a quick shower. Most of us will stay dry, but there will be a couple little sprinkles or a few showers in our southern counties. Here's 10 p.m. still south of I-44. We can go into Wednesday morning, starting with some clouds. Wednesday afternoon, though, looks pretty good. Sunny skies, high temps into the mid-80s. So the next couple days, temperatures look great. 61 in the morning, 77 by noon, high temp 84. But again, random sprinkle, southern counties, mainly tomorrow afternoon. Let's continue through the rest of the week. Let's go into Thursday. We're going to be into the 80s, but notice some spotty thunderstorms starting to pop up late. So we'll have to watch that for Kansas City because the Chiefs play at Arrowhead Thursday evening. So they may be dodging a few showers and thunderstorms lasting into Friday morning, and then we're going to clear out behind this. Then Friday afternoon looks great. Saturday looks great. So the overall trend here is all week long we have fantastic temperatures. Here's the main reason why. High pressure way out to the west, upper level flow out of Canada keeps it nice across the region. This sticks around this week until next week. That area of high pressure slowly heads toward us, which means it will slowly start to warm back up. All right, 84 Tuesday, few sprinkles southern counties. 87 Wednesday, some pop-up thunderstorms late Thursday into Friday. Clear out, fantastic weekend, 82s, slowly heating up next week. But overall, this is going to be a really nice week.
Liking the highs and the lows are really low. We're talking low 60s.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Doug. Hey, now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime, anywhere for that matter, absolutely free, the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. Coming up, the latest on hotel workers' strike. Topping today's Consumer Watch, thousands of hotel workers all around the U.S. began walking off the job over this busy Labor Day weekend. Comes after labor negotiations between major hotel chains and the Unite Here union broke down. The union represents front desk workers, housekeepers, and other workers who are demanding better wages and working conditions. Unite Here says strikes have been authorized to begin at any time in several other cities. Spokespersons for two of the major hotel chains, Hilton and Hyatt, tell CBS News they look forward to continuing negotiations with union members. Millions of people in Brazil no longer have access to the social media platform X. Brazil's Supreme Court blocked the platform after owner Elon Musk refused court orders including one to name a representative in the country. Those who access the platform by VPN could also face thousands of dollars in fines. Musk and a top justice on the court have feuded for months over disinformation on that platform. The Federal Trade Commission says Americans lost $10 billion in scams and frauds last year. Those scams are becoming more personal and more sophisticated. Christine Lazar spoke to one man who thought he was making money but instead lost tens of thousands of dollars.
At that point, all I'm seeing is all this money.
Robert Totten thought he had found a pathway to retirement through trading cryptocurrency. A woman texted his cell phone out of the blue last spring and convinced him to give it a shot. He downloaded what he thought was a legitimate trading app.
I just kept listening and watching, and I was doing everything she told me, and the next thing I know, we've turned $9,000 into $102,000.
At this point, you're probably thinking, we know where this is going. And you're right. Totten was scammed out of $85,000.
It's sickening. It's like it's destroyed my life as far as finances and my retirement.
The scam is called pig butchering, where criminals fatten up a victim by making them think they're richer and richer so they can extract as much money as possible.
It's a very sophisticated process.
Kevin Goschalk is the CEO of Arcos Labs and a cybersecurity expert. He says scam groups create sophisticated manuals to trick people.
They have these books and guides that are really designed by different victim types. You know, if you're single, if you're a mother, if you're black, if you're white, where you live.
She consistently tried to get me to invest more.
Totten received a lot of photos from his scammer. She even sent a driver's license when he grew skeptical. The address said she was in San Marino, California. But when we went to the door, the homeowner told us, "You don't know who this woman is."
No.
He had no idea who was in the photo. And the DMV confirmed the license is a fake. And that crypto app Totten downloaded, it also turned out to be a fake and was gone from the App Store as soon as he realized he had been scammed. You know, a lot of people say it won't happen to me.
That's what I said.
Totten has filed a police report and contacted the FBI, but he doubts he will ever get his money back. Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine topped the slow Labor Day weekend at the box office, taking in just over $15 million in North America. That was followed by Alien Romulus with $9 million, and it ends with Us with more than $7 million. The biopic Reagan debuted at fourth, also raking in just over $7 million. A final check of the forecast up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, one woman's skepticism uncovered that an innovative new program aimed at recycling plastic isn't working. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to hear from a Pittsburgh woman who's glad the city is launching a new trash pickup service. We'll explain why. Plus, the death of a woman who had been serving a prison sentence for the murder of her ex-lover in Southwest Missouri. And the Missouri Southern News Conference today ahead of their upcoming game against Pitt State. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. The 119th Old Settlers Weekend wrapped up in Uniontown, Kansas today. Residents and visitors and apparently a random dinosaur participated in a car show, children's parade, and picnic in the park. The event also saw vendors from throughout the community set up to sell handmade goods such as bows and jewelry and artwork. Old Settlers Weekend included several raffles to benefit different causes in the area.
So we have all kinds of things going on to help other people. Also, it's just a community helping others, you know, and getting together and having a good time.
You bet. Picnickers also enjoyed food and craft vendors and carnival games on the Uniontown Square. Look at those cute little horses there, cute kids. Good
It's
time.
always nice to see a random dinosaur.
You know, it's rare, I understand.
It is rare.
Not so much 65 million years ago, but these days. This weather is rare.
Yeah, it feels great outside. It's actually September now, just so you know.
Oh, that's true. It's also rare for August.
Yeah, 84 tomorrow, a few sprinkles.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.